What if dinner wasn't about food at all, but about proving you belong somewhere no one else does? Imagine sitting at a table where the walls dissolve, the floor vanishes, and suddenly you're underwater, drifting through glowing jellyfish while dessert freezes in midair with liquid nitrogen. Now imagine paying $2,000 for a single seat. No menu, no second chances. Only 12 people allowed every night. This isn't a restaurant. It's a controlled experience designed to overwhelm, isolate, and remind us how small the outside world really is. What you're about to see exists far beyond Michelin stars, celebrity chefs, and anything you thought food could be. This is Sublimotion. Sublimotion sits inside the Hard Rock Hotel in Ibiza, Spain. But calling it a restaurant feels wrong. This is a gastronomic theater, a culinary spaceship, a fever dream designed by 2 Michelin star chef Paco Roncero. Every summer when the rest of the world eats burgers on beaches, 12 strangers step into a white room and pay between $2,000 and $2,400 each. For dinner, not for a week, not for a car, for one meal. 3 to 4 hours, 20 courses, an experience that blurs the line between reality and fantasy. This place reportedly loses money. It exists not for profit, but for prestige, for glory, for the audacity of saying, "We built the impossible." You don't get a menu, you don't choose your meal. You sit at a single communal table with 11 other guests, most of whom you'll never meet again. The lights dim, the walls come alive, projections flood the room. You're no longer in Ibiza, you're in the ocean, then space, then digital art galleries. Then inside a laboratory where chefs in white coats manipulate your food like scientists. Each course arrives synchronized with visuals, soundscapes, temperature shifts, and scent engineering. Yes, scent engineering. The air smells like pine forest when you eat venison, like ocean spray when you taste oysters, like burnt caramel when dessert approaches. This is molecular gastronomy meets Broadway meets virtual reality, meets something no one had a name for until Paco Roncero invented it. The ingredients are flown in daily from around the world. Rare fish from Japan, truffles from Italy, caviar from the Caspian. Vegetables so fresh they were harvested that morning. But it's not about the ingredients, it's about transformation. Liquid nitrogen, edible flowers, foams that dissolve on your tongue, ice cream that smokes, bread that levitates. Every dish is a riddle, every bite is theater. Some courses are served on iPads, others arrive in fog. One moment you're eating something that tastes like childhood nostalgia, the next you're chewing on the future. Critics call it genius, others call it pretentious, but no one calls it boring. Here's what most people don't know. While you sit at that table, over 25 people work behind the scenes. Chefs, sound designers, visual artists, engineers, illusion specialists, scent technicians. Every second is choreographed, every projection timed to the millisecond, every course designed to trigger an emotional response. This isn't cooking, it's orchestration. The kitchen isn't a kitchen, it's mission control. And Paco Roncero isn't just a chef, he's a director, a conductor, a mad scientist who spent years asking, what if dinner could make you cry? What if food could transport you? What if eating became the most expensive art installation on Earth? Exclusivity is the entire point. 12 seats, 1 seating per night. Seasonal operation, summer only. You can't walk in, you can't call and get a table next week. Bookings are made months in advance. Celebrities fly in, royalty reserves tables, billionaires treat it like a pilgrimage. Some guests are asked to sign non-disclosure agreements. Not legally binding, but a request. Don't spoil the magic, don't ruin the surprise. Keep the mystery alive. This makes Sublimotion feel like a secret society, a culinary Illuminati, and that's exactly what they want. Scarcity creates desire, mystery creates obsession, and obsession creates a $2,000 price tag that people pay willingly. You've made it this far, which means you're curious enough to keep going. But here's the truth, this is only the surface. Hit that like button and subscribe, and get ready for the next story about wealth, excess, and the things money can actually buy. Stay tuned. The dining room is a technological marvel. Walls covered in 360-degree projection mapping, interactive tables that respond to touch, virtual reality headsets used mid-meal, soundscapes designed by audio engineers who normally work on Hollywood films. At one point, you might eat while flying through the cosmos. At another, the walls become an aquarium, and fish swim past your head. the table transforms into a forest floor, into molten lava, into a snowy tundra, all while you eat. The food and the environment merge. You're not tasting a dish, you're tasting a story, a memory, a hallucination. And when it's over, you're not even sure what was real. Food critics are divided. Some call sublimotion the future of dining. Others say it's a gimmick for the ultra-rich. One review described it as eating inside a video game designed by Salvador Dali. Another said it was the most emotionally manipulative meal I've ever had. And that's the genius of it. Manipulation is the point. Paco Roncero studied psychology. He knows how scent triggers memory, how visuals influence taste, how sound changes perception. He weaponized neuroscience and turned it into dinner. You're not just eating, you're being reprogrammed. And you paid $2,000 for the privilege. Sublimotion isn't alone in the world of absurdly expensive dining. Ultraviolet in Shanghai charges up to $1,500 per person for a similar multi-sensory experience. Masa in New York doesn't even show you prices. You sit down, you eat, you get a bill for over $750. Then there's the pizza in Italy topped with caviar and gold leaf for over $1,000. The burger in Las Vegas made with Wagyu beef and truffle for $5,000. It also includes a bottle of 1995 Chateau Petrus. The lobster in New York that cost $200 for a single tail. But none of them combine food technology, theater, and mystery quite like Sublimotion. None of them feel like you've entered another dimension. And none of them make you question whether you just ate dinner or attended a performance art piece. And now the real question. Is it worth it? Well, here's the thing. Value is subjective. For some people, $2,000 is pocket change, a rounding error, a weekend splurge. For others, it's a month's rent, a car payment, a year of groceries. So, is Sublimotion worth it? If you measure food by calories, no. If you measure it by nutrition, absolutely not. But if you measure experience by rarity, by emotion, by the ability to tell a story no one else can tell, then maybe it's worth it for the people who can afford it. Maybe it's worth it for the Instagram post, the dinner party story, the bragging rights. Or maybe it's worth it because in a world where everything is commodified, where every experience is Googleable, Sublimotion remains untouchable, unknowable, a secret you have to buy your way into. So, would you pay $2,000 for dinner? Would you step into the White Room in Ibiza and let Paco Roncero play with your senses? Or would you rather spend that money on 20 dinners at normal restaurants, 100 home-cooked meals, a plane ticket somewhere quieter? There's no right answer, but one thing is certain. Sublimotion exists because someone asked, what if we went too far? And the world answered, show us. Like, share, and comment. Would you actually pay $2,000 for a single meal? Or is this the kind of luxury that makes no sense? Drop your thoughts below.